as you saw in the title below, obsessed with being skinny. So obviously some people are gonna like laugh at a couple of the things I say, but please try to see the seriousness in this entire video, because I'm not filming this as a joke. I'm not filming this to be funny. I'm filming this because it's an actual problem now. So as many of you know, if you are on Twitter, I'm sure most of you are, if you are on Twitter, you see it's Twitter culture to laugh about the whole skinny thing, or skinny legend, or lemon and water, and I've definitely taken a part of that, and I wish I didn't, because it's actually like, it started to affect me in real life, and it's affecting people around me, and you guys don't even know, because you guys are not on Finsta. You guys do not have the personal Instagram accounts of your favorite social media stars, but I do, so I get to see what's actually going on in the community. You guys are only getting to see this much of these people's lives. Keep that in mind. Y'all like to think that you can base this amount of people's lives on the internet on their entire lives. That's why whenever y'all are talking about, do you wish you could be like this family channel? And I'm like, y'all don't even know how their family life really is. Oh, I wish I could be like this couple. Y'all don't even know how their relationship actually goes. You get to see about 15 minutes out of their day, and you cannot judge everything you see online as their reality, because in reality, it's not that. So what I'm saying is, I got a Finsta, which is a private Instagram account that many people have. And because I am a social media influencer, I have a lot of social media influencers on there that I get to see what they're posting, and they get to see what I'm posting. So a lot of the times, these people, I'm not even like super close to some of these people. My Finsta account, I just post stupid memes with dumb captions. You're not gonna catch me abusing drugs on there. You're not gonna catch me saying super offensive racist shit that I see a lot of people post about, because at the end of the day, I'm not even like that in real life, so I'm not going to pretend to be like that on my Finsta. And a lot of people on social media pretend to be a certain way, and then on their Finsta, you're like, whoa, you're a completely different person. You're kind of a piece of shit. But these are just people that I've known for the past couple of years, and I've just kind of like left them on there. But some of the shit I be seeing on there is like, okay, that's not okay. And as many of you know, this whole skinny thing, especially with Mariah Carey, has become a huge joke as of recently over the past couple of months. To, you know, lemon and water, being as skinny as Mariah. Mariah's so skinny, she's a gas. If you do a quick Twitter search of obsessed with being skinny, you will literally see thousands of tweets of people crying out for help saying, I'm actually obsessed with being thin now. Like, online has caused me, or these things I'm seeing online have caused me to want to actually be thin, because I feel like if I'm not thin, I'm not beautiful. And once I got, and some people are like, I finally got to my goal skinny weight, and now I feel extremely unhealthy, and I'm trying to get back to where I was. And I'm not saying everybody that loses weight is gonna miss the weight that they lost, but what I am saying is that these jokes are actually starting to hurt people. And it did affect me for a little bit in my life, so I'm gonna share my story before I go ahead and start talking about other situations. I started birth control 2.5 months ago almost. And after I started birth control, I thought that that was why I lost my appetite. I thought that was the reason why I couldn't eat. When in reality, I was using that as an excuse to mask a deeper problem. I didn't lose my appetite because my birth control didn't allow me to eat. Around the time when I started birth control is when me and Zach really started making these skinny jokes towards each other. And we started actually, what we were thinking and saying turned into our reality. And if Zach, you're watching this, you know what I'm fucking talking about. And it's something I've wanted to talk about, and I've kind of mentioned it a little bit to him, but for some reason, sometimes it's easier for me to say things online. But it hasn't been that healthy, the way me and him have been living, and I know he might be like, sis, don't drag me in on it. I'm kind of dragging you in on it, I'm sorry. But it has not been the healthiest. We joke about lemon and water, but there were some times when we would only get lemon and water. There were some times when I would say I'm super hungry, and then I would get something, and then I would instantly feel self-conscious about it. Like, fuck, maybe this is too much. And I would only take a couple of bites and be like, I think I'm full. And I would think I was full, but then I'd be starving again 5 minutes later. But then I'd be like, I just ate, why am I gonna get more food? And I know some people are gonna be like, Vanessa, you're a grown woman. Yes, I am 21 years old. But that doesn't mean that things online can't affect me as much as everybody else. I'm human just like you. And sometimes that's like me saying a joke against, what can I even make an example? If I keep saying, ugh, I hate dogs, I can't stand dogs, they stink, they're smelly, I don't like dogs, and I keep joking about it, eventually people are going to think I don't like dogs. And eventually I'm going to really convince myself, maybe I really don't like dogs. So maybe that wasn't the best example, but that's all I could really come up with right now. Once you start to, subconsciously have these things, or once you start consciously having these things always in your head, they slowly float to the back into your subconscious, and when you do, really think about these things in the back of your head, there's a little voice going like, hey, don't do that, or stop eating that, or this, or like, that's what happened to me. And I didn't think I had a problem until 2.5 weeks ago, you guys. I'm being serious. I thought it was a joke. I wasn't noticing any extreme weight loss. I did notice a little weight loss, but I thought it was from my birth control. But 2 weeks ago, me and Jarl were sitting down eating, and I took maybe 1 or 2 bites of my food and said I was full. And he got very serious with me, you guys. He got very serious with me and said, okay, I don't know what your fucking problem is, but like what's going on? And I was like, what do you mean? What's going on? And I will be honest, I got a little defensive. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're not eating anything. We keep going to places. You're not eating. What is going on? Do you have a problem? Like, do you want to talk about it? Do you need to get help? Because you're not eating, and don't say it's a lack of appetite from your birth control, because what's really going on? And I didn't know what to say. I was just like, wait, what do you mean? I'm fine. And I didn't really think too much about it after that. And then another situation came where we were eating out somewhere, and he's like, okay, I'm actually dead ass. Like, when we get home, we're talking about this. And I was like, whatever. So we're sitting here in my room, and he's actually like, we need to be serious about this. Like, I'm not joking. We're not making any skinny legend jokes. We're not talking about lemon and fucking water. What is going on with you? Why are you not eating? Because you weren't like this before. Because the last time we were together, I was munching. I was eating. He's like, you weren't like this. What is going on? And after that conversation that night, it really clicked in my head that, bro, I was trying to find excuses for the fact that I wasn't eating. Not because of my birth control appetite being gone or whatever. I wasn't eating because I actually got the line between social media and reality got blurred for me. I started, and I'm not saying everybody's like this, because not everybody's like this, but I somehow, even though I claim to be this strong-willed, strong-minded woman, I somehow allowed myself to blur that line with all the skinny jokes, because it turned into they were just being made online. To me and my friends are joking about it all the time, like 24/7. It wasn't even like, oh, once in a while. It was like, no, we're always joking about being skinny. So I don't know if I somehow had those things subconsciously instilled in my mind that whenever I did actually sit down to eat, Because, like, I'll go into a restaurant and I'll order, I want this and I want this, but then it's in front of me and I can't fucking eat it. And I'm not blaming all the skinny jokes and I'm not blaming all this, but I am also blaming it, and I'm blaming myself as well, because I got involved in this. And I put myself through this. And I allowed myself to take the jokes too far. And now I'm only actually drinking water with lemon. I don't drink juice. I don't drink milk. I don't drink soda. It's only water, or water with lemon. And I was calorie counting. And I was using an app, and I'm not going to say their name. Y'all already know if you watch my old videos, but I don't want to slander the app, so I'm not going to say their name. But I was counting every little calorie on there. And y'all might have thought, oh, maybe Vanessa's just doing it for a sponsorship. No, I was actually using this app every single day up until 2.5 weeks ago. Tracking every time I drank water, tracked it. Every time I ate something, tracked it. And at the end of the day, it turned into calorie counting. Oh, this will 200 calories here, 400 here, 500 here. Calorie counting can be healthy if you're doing it in a healthy way. Like, say you're working out and you're trying to make sure you eat a certain amount of calories every day so you can, have a fit body and you're trying to get this look. But when you're doing it for no reason, not even for health benefits, you're doing it to make sure you don't eat too much. And as you guys can see, I am a thin girl. I'm not overweight in the slightest. If anything, my BMI is only like 2 points away from underweight, and it's not on purpose. I'm just a lean person, and I'm tall, so my weight distributes differently. If I was like, some of y'all be thinking that I'm like 5'3" or something. No, I'm 5'9". Yes, I just got checked, and sister's 5'9". I'm not 5'8". So I'm tall, so my weight distributes a lot differently than most people. Like I said, I'm just a naturally lean person. And the fact that I'm over here, why the fuck am I calorie counting? And I hate that, like, it always takes time, or like, I hate that I keep falling back into these patterns. And it's like, I keep thinking I'm growing as a person, and I get so excited, and I share it with you guys online, and I get so pumped, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to, tell everybody how I don't have body dysmorphia anymore, and I'm happy with myself, and I want everybody to be happy too. And it's like I'm trying to convince myself that I'm happy because I want everyone else to be happy. When in reality, I'm a motherfucking hypocrite, and I'm over here doing what I'm telling people not to do. And it takes a lot for me to say that online, because I want you guys to think I'm this. I mean, I do believe that I am a strong young woman. I do know that I am. But I can't preach and not practice it. And that's what hurts me the most within myself, because I'm supposed to be an example for you guys and tell you guys that you're beautiful the way you are. But here I am letting these skinny jokes get to me. And at the end of the day, if everyone around you is also participating in it, there's nobody from the outside to tell you what the fuck is going on. And that's what happened. It took Jarl to step in and tell me what I was doing was not okay. And it wasn't okay. He's like, why are you watching your calories? Why are you not eating? You're fine. Your body's perfect. What are you doing? And I didn't think in my head like, oh, I'm overweight or I'm too skinny or anything. I just got caught up in the jokes. And it became a reality for me. And the reason why I'm making this video is because if it could happen to me, it must be happening to a couple of you. So why not talk about it? And I'm glad I have somebody in my life that stepped in and told me about myself. Because sometimes we need that. We need somebody to say something. And if you notice something's going on with one of your friends, let them know. Even if they try to deny it, and they, at least try a couple times. Don't just give up, And it took him a couple times to really, fucking let me know about myself. And I'm so grateful that I have him in my life, because now I'm back to a regular eating schedule. And I pray and I hope, I don't know who I'm praying to, but I'm hoping that I don't fall back in it, and I shouldn't have to rely on other people to try to help me because I know better. I grew up eating a balanced meal at home. I mean, sometimes all we had was fast food, but my parents tried to make it to where we were trying, to eat a balanced meal. Ate lunch at school, came home and had dinner, ate a little something for breakfast before I went to school. And I was a student athlete pretty much my entire life. So I had to, be on a balanced diet to, go hand in hand with sports. So until I moved out is when, the main big problems started happening. So my next story that I want to talk about is somebody that started as a subscriber but turned into a friend. So he's gonna know I'm talking about him. So hey boo, yes, I'm talking about you. And he's probably gonna text me the second he sees this. But there's somebody that I met a couple years ago through Twitter. We were Twitter mutuals. He watched my videos, and y'all know I love to connect with you guys, and sometimes it turns into a friendship offline. And I have no problem. I mean, some social media people have an issue with actually talking to their fans and talking to their subscribers, but I don't. I actually enjoy befriending some of you guys, and we have relationships off of that. Like, there's some people that I met offline or online, and now we're hanging out in real life, and whenever I'm in your city, we link up. So, I mean, obviously I'm not going to link up with I can't link up with a 13-year-old girl because I'm 21. My friends now did not start as friends. It started as, you watched my videos, and we're around the same age gap, or say age range, 19, 20, 21. Sure, whatever. So, the next story that I'm going to tell you guys about is, like I said, somebody that I met online. And this person was body positive. I never got an ounce of, they weren't comfortable with themselves at all. And now these skinny jokes are being made and all this, skinny that. And I follow this person. Yes, I may follow a lot of people on Twitter, but I see this person. And I do go to their profile weekly and I check up on them, whether they know it or not. Because I do actually care. I have a heart, contrary to belief. And I like to check up on this person. We don't talk all the time, but I am checking up on them to see what's going on. And watching this person deteriorate breaks my heart. Because when I met this person, they were lavish, lush, living their life. And I don't mean by money. I mean like mentally. They just seemed like happy and like nothing was wrong. And then I was watching them slowly lose weight, and I try to reach out like, hey, are you good? Like, are you fine? Like, is there anything you need to talk about? Like, are you good? And they said they were fine. So I dropped it for a second, but I was still watching because I don't like to see people go down the path that I went down in the past. And then one day, one of my close friends and another close family member of mine who follows me and this person, they both, within an hour or two of each other, sent me the same tweet. And I didn't see them until I got on Twitter later, and I'm like, why they just both sent me the same thing? And they don't have any connection with each other, by the way. We've never met. And this person that was a Twitter mutual of mine was accusing my friend, saying, you're the reason, and people like you are the reason why I starve myself. You're the reason why I feel the need to be so thin. Because of the jokes you're making online. It's your fault. You know how hurtful that is to hear that? That somebody's telling you, you're the reason I'm killing myself, basically. Some people may think that you can say whatever you want online and it's not going to hurt people. And I will admit, and I'm not going to sit here and act like my friend was not making certain comments they shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, some of the things my friend was saying was a little over the top. Never directed towards anybody specifically, but words do have an effect on some people's lives. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that I'm siding with my friends or either of them, because I can see from both sides what they mean. But you can't pin it all on one person. And what I did end up finding out a couple months later, and I just recently saw a couple weeks ago, they posted that it was actually their ex-boyfriend that hurt them so badly, that did all this mental abuse that caused them to lose all this weight. But what they did do was they did maliciously attack my friend and say it was their fault. And that brings in the whole point of you need to be careful what you say online, because I could be over here joking about skinny, skinny, skinny all I want all day, but at the end of the day, it's actually affecting somebody. Just how it affected me. Skinny, skinny, lemon and water. Like, once you say these things and all this shit, like, it actually gets in your head. And you can't say it doesn't, because some people might be like, oh, I make skinny jokes all the time, but I'm a fat bitch and I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, whatever, sure. But not everybody got your mindset, honey. Not everybody is as strong. And I'm not going to say strong, but some people are more impressionable, I guess you could say. So these things actually stick. And some people don't realize all the time that it's a joke. Because I have met some people, and it has scared me, how there's like a lot of things that me and my friends say all the time that I've said around them, and they're like, oh my gosh. Or, are you serious? And I'm like, obviously we're joking. And they're like, it didn't sound like a joke. And that's why Jarl stepped in and because he didn't think it was a joke. He was like, I know, like, you think it's all funny and shit, but, like, are you actually good? Because not all the time do people take it as a joke. So, with me saying that, there could be impressionable minds, younger people, even, adults, that can see or hear these things and take it out of context. So, yeah, it's fun and games to, joke about Mariah Carey and Skinny Legend or whatever. But there's a point where you gotta stop and think before you start typing shit. And like I said, one thing is saying like, oh, Skinny Legend Mariah back at it again, officially named the gas of the year because she's so skinny. Like, obviously that's kind of funny. But then when it turns into if you don't drink lemon and water and that's all, like, you're fat. Or if you're eating more than 500 calories a day, kill yourself. Because I've seen these things on my timeline. And I've seen also social media creators saying shit like this. And maybe 1,000 of your fans thought it was funny, but maybe 10 of them took it to heart. So you need to really watch what you say online, because it could actually really hurt somebody. And that brings me to my next story or whatever that I'm going to talk about, and that is a family member of mine. And I haven't always been super, super close to this family member, but as we got older, we built our bond a lot more, I guess you could say, and we got a lot closer. And this person is a little younger than me, and they're on social media just as much as me, if not more. And the things that I'm just watching from the outside, and I'm seeing skinny jokes turn into them actually starving themselves. And I think I mentioned this earlier, the whole Finsta thing. I've seen the skinny jokes turn too far. I'm actually seeing people now talking about starving themselves or drinking coffee to suppress their appetite. I'm seeing people talk about lemon and water and cocaine. I've never done cocaine before, so I don't really know much about it or if it actually suppresses your appetite, but suddenly it's this big, like, thing. I thought it was just the celebrities, but now it's like social media people are starting to get into that whole thing, and everybody just wants to be skinny and have a 23-inch waist. And people are over here putting their belts on so tight that when they take them off, you can actually physically see their ribs move. And I wish I could include that, but it's a private account, so I don't think I could legally do that. I don't know. but physically taking their fucking belts off, and you can see their body going back into form, and they're like, ugh, not skinny anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck? So doesn't that hurt? And they're like, yeah, it hurts, but like I look skinny. I'm like, are you joking? Like, are you kidding with me right now? Like, are you being serious, or is this like for fun? And they're like, no, I need to be skinny. I'm like, what the fuck? This is how it was with my cousin. That's why I'm bringing it in, tying it in together. It went from these little jokes to like, no, I need to actually be skinny. So, my whole point is that if you're not able to blur the line between social media and reality, you need to stay off of social media. Because at the end of the day, I feel like most of these beauty standards and most of these, you know, fads and trends that are going on are coming from social media. And at the end of the day, I'm right. That's what's happening. Because people didn't care so fucking much about being thick and having this body. And people weren't risking their lives as much to get this look. Going to shitty doctors that aren't even licensed to do half this shit for them. People wouldn't be sacrificing everything if it wasn't such a big deal to society. And most of these things come from online. And people see, oh, this person got 2 million likes because their body looks like this. That must be what I need to look like because I'm only getting 30 likes. So I'm clearly not as good as them. I need to get to that point. And some people, I'm sure y'all have seen Botched, where people have been like, I was so desperate to lose weight because everyone around me is just so thin, and then they get liposuction, and then if something goes wrong, or they're crooked, or like, people will do anything these days, I feel like, to get a certain look now. That's not the solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is, if you want it to be a joke, leave it as a joke. Don't allow what happened to me and what's happening to these people that I'm trying to talk to help, but I'm only me. They need to go to actual doctors for help at this point. But most of these people don't think they have a problem. But I mean, as somebody who used to have a really, really bad problem, I can see them going down that path. And I don't think they're all going to go down that path, but it's becoming evident that they're okay with going down that path. I almost feel like some people are enjoying giving themselves eating disorders, and they don't even see it as an eating disorder. They see it as I'm just getting skinny. Starving yourself isn't getting skinny. That's anorexia. Drinking lemon and water all day and not actually having a real meal is not getting skinny. It's anorexia. I don't know if some people are doing it on purpose or doing it as a joke, but it's not funny. It's a serious thing. And just as you know, smoking cigarettes is going to lead to problems down the line, not eating is going to lead to problems down the line, but a lot quicker than cigarettes. You will waste away and you will die if you do not eat properly. And if you don't die, you're going to have very, very, very bad problems. Not eating can not only affect your physical body, but your mental. Your brain also needs those supplements. So if you're not eating properly, you're not going to be able to process or think properly. It's facts. Just the fact that I could go on Twitter and so easily type in skinny or obsessed with skinny, and it'll say 100,000 tweets within this past hour, or 90,000 tweets about this in an hour. Like, damn, that's all y'all really talking about now. So now that it's everywhere, it's going to become even more of a problem in the future. I just can't believe that. I'm disappointed in myself that I allowed myself to almost go down the same path again that I experienced in 2016. If you didn't know, in 2016 I developed anorexia. I wasn't eating. I was starving myself. I don't want to see this joke go too far, because the thick joke went too far. It caused people who are actually thick to feel fat, because it got thrown around so loosely. That's why I actually get upset when you guys are commenting thick on my photos. Because we know damn well I'm not thick. Nothing about me is thick. I'm a slim girl. So when you're over here commenting thick all over my photos, how do you think somebody who is actually thick might feel? Like, if that's what's thick, not everybody's gonna think that, but you don't know. They might be thinking, so what, am I fat if that's thick? Am I actually overweight? Thick, you guys, is not this. So stop telling people that are social media people and flooding their comments with, this is what thick looks like, because no, it fucking doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. Because then this skinny joke is going to go too far. And people who take it too far are going to start actually losing a ton of weight. Turn into skin and bones, and y'all are going to be skinny. And then people who are not as skinny as that are going to try to achieve that. It's a pattern. It's a constant pattern, you guys. And it's so obvious, and don't sit here and act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Because so many people took this thick thing out of hand, and now everybody's getting their ass injected with collagen and foreign materials. Most of the time, not even to make themselves feel better, but to appear better to other people. There's a difference between doing something for yourself and doing it to impress others. So before this skinny thing goes too far, let's just stop now. You can make all the little jokes you want with your friends, but you need to be aware of what you're saying and what you're taking a part in. Because if I know that I'm seeing me and people around me get affected by all this, and I'm seeing a ton of people online, and I'm getting hella fucking DMs and emails talking about I'm not skinny enough, or I don't feel skinny. First, 2 years ago, it was I'm not thick enough. Vanessa, I don't know what to do. Do I need to get my ass? And I'm not thick enough. I need to be thicker, thick. And now it's in my DMs and in my messages, I'm not skinny enough. Like, what the fuck, you guys? What the actual fuck? Can we not just be happy with ourselves and promote just being healthy? Eat a balanced meal 3 times a day. Make sure you're getting at least some sort of physical activity in your life, at least once or twice a week. Whether it be walk to the mailbox instead of driving to it, run to the mailbox instead of driving to it, walking your dog instead of just leaving them in the backyard. Go play tennis at the park, skateboard, something. As long as you're trying to take care of yourself, in a sense. It shouldn't matter what your body looks like, because not everybody's DNA is the same. Not everybody was meant to look like Kim Kardashian. Not everybody was meant to, which we all know that is not real. Even though she's not going to ever talk about it, I'm sure. We know that's not real. So don't compare yourself to something that is not achievable naturally. I have love for Kim. She's my favorite Kardashian. But at the end of the day, we all know the truth. So stop comparing yourself to what's not even achievable. And try to focus more on what's right for me. Because like I said, not everybody's meant to be built like her. Not everybody is meant to be built like Venus Williams or Serena. And I'm not sitting here saying you need to work out. I'm just saying as long as you're keeping your blood pumping, you don't have to work out to get skinny or to, achieve something. Just sometimes it's good for the inside. That's why it's cardio. It's good for the lungs. It's good for the heart. So as long as you are focused on being the healthiest version of yourself, you're fine. Because like I said, not everybody's meant to be the same shape. This is my natural shape. I'm a thin person. If you look at photos of my father, at my age, he was a skinny dude. It's just how he was. Some guys are more huskier than others, because I'm not only talking about women here. Some guys are more skinnier than others. Some guys are more husky. Some guys are a little more wider in the shoulders, wider in the hips. Some guys got bigger booties. Some got none. It's just in your DNA. Your body was built from your parents, your mom and your dad, and here you are. That you're just meant to look a certain way. And as long as you're taking care of yourself and your doctor's telling you you're good, then you're good. Some people might be 5'5" and 170 pounds, and that's their healthy weight. Some people might be 5'5" at 110 pounds, and that's just how their body was built. Don't compare yourself to other people when there's only one you. Don't compare yourself to other people when you're the only one with that copy of your DNA. Not everybody's meant to be the same. So, y'all can make your Mariah Carey jokes all you want. I'm not saying they have to stop. But you need to realize if these things are going too far and if they're actually affecting you in your real life, because they started to affect me and my friends around me because we took it too far. And the jokes turned into like, oh, we were making skinny jokes once in a while, to that's the only joke we know how to fucking make now. Don't worry so much about trying to impress other people, because at the end of the day, you're going to lose yourself that way. And you're just going to end up hella insecure and alone. My message for this video today, you guys, is just try to take care of yourselves. And try to learn to accept yourself for the way that you were made. Because, like I said, not everybody was meant to be shaped like Taylor Swift. Not everybody was meant to be shaped like Jennifer Hudson. Not everybody was meant to be shaped like Wendy Williams or Selena Gomez. Everybody has their own natural body shape. I have a very fast metabolism. I will have a food baby the size of a 6-month pregnant woman and have a flat stomach 2 hours later. Because that's just how my body works. Everybody's different. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Go watch another one of my confidence videos and move on with your day. At the end of the day, you're all beautiful no matter what size you are. As long as you're taking care of yourself, you're fine. And don't confuse taking care of yourself with obsession. Because some people will really do the most when it should not be that. It's not that hard, you guys. It's not that hard to eat the right things. It's not that hard. And I know some people might be like, but not everybody can afford to eat the right things. And that's where you're wrong. It's actually cheaper to eat healthier. And don't say it's not. There's a place called Walmart. There's a place called the 99-cent store that sells fresh produce. So don't bullshit yourself and say, it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper to go to McDonald's. No, it's not. And if you go to the store and actually look, no one's telling you you have to shop at Whole Foods or Sprouts or Safeway. There's places that sell produce just the same for cheap. Farmer markets. So don't play yourself and lie to yourself. Just take care of yourself. That's it. At the end of the day, just take care of yourself, because a healthy body is a healthy mind. And it starts with a healthy mind to get through the fucking day. I'm not saying skinny is better than fat. I'm not saying fat is better than skinny. Just accept yourself at the end of the day. That's all you need to do. Because if you don't ever learn to accept yourself, nobody will ever learn to accept you. What you put off into the universe is what comes back. If you come across as somebody who just doesn't give a fuck about anything, if you don't give a fuck about yourself, no one's going to give a fuck about you. Just remember that. That's all I have to say. I gotta go now. I've been standing for like 40 minutes. My legs are tired. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye.
Work.